stride, shuffle, sprint. How we move says a lot. Today, we'll explore words that describe different types of walking and movement. With clear definitions, examples, and images, let's master the vocabulary of motion. Step as verb. To move by lifting one foot and putting it down in a different position, typically as part of walking or running. To take action or measures in order to achieve a particular result. To proceed or progress in a specified way. He carefully stepped over the fallen tree branch while hiking through the forest. She stepped forward to greet her guests as they arrived at the party. With each passing day, they stepped closer to achieving their long-term goals. The government must step in to address the humanitarian crisis unfolding in the region. The company plans to step up efforts to reduce carbon emissions and promote sustainability. Lope as noun, a long, bounding stride or movement, especially of a horse or other quadruped, that is faster than a trot but slower than a gallop. The act or manner of moving with long, easy strides. The cheetah's lope is characterized by its effortless speed and agility. With a graceful lope, the wolf disappeared into the dense forest. During the hike, we maintained a steady lope to cover more ground efficiently. We watched in awe as the antelope moved across the savanna in a fluid lope. The horse broke into a steady lope as it traversed the open field. Traipse as verb. To walk or move aimlessly or casually. To wander or roam. To walk or travel about without apparent purpose or direction. We traipsed through the crowded market, searching for bargains. We spent the afternoon traipsing through the woods, enjoying the scenery. Instead of taking the bus, she preferred to traipse around the city on foot. The children traipsed through the fields, picking wildflowers along the way. He traipsed from one art gallery to another, admiring the paintings and sculptures. Stroll is noun, a casual or relaxed walk without haste or purpose. A leisurely walk, especially taken for pleasure or to enjoy one's surroundings. The park was filled with people out for an evening stroll with their families. We took a leisurely stroll through the old town, soaking in its historic charm. The morning stroll through the garden was her favorite part of the day. He often took his dog for a stroll in the park to unwind after work. They went for a sunset stroll along the boardwalk. Trudge as verb. To plod along wearily or laboriously. To walk slowly and heavily, as if with great effort or difficulty. The tired hikers trudged up the steep mountain trail, their backpacks weighing them down. She trudged through her chores, her mind preoccupied with worries. He trudged home from work in the pouring rain, soaked to the bone. The soldiers trudged through the muddy battlefield, weary from battle. We trudged through the deep snow, each step becoming more exhausting than the last. Amble as verb. To stroll or walk leisurely. To walk at a slow, relaxed pace. The elderly couple ambled through the park hand in hand. We ambled through the quaint village, admiring the historic buildings. They ambled along the beach, enjoying the sound of the waves. The tourists ambled through the narrow streets of the old town, taking in the sights and sounds. The horse ambled along the trail, enjoying the peaceful surroundings. Pace is noun, a single step or stride taken while walking or running. The distance covered in one step or stride. The speed or rate at which something moves, progresses, or develops. The tempo or rhythm of an activity or process. The runner set a fast pace from the start of the race and maintained it until the finish line. The company is struggling to keep up with the rapid pace of technological advancements in its industry. The meeting proceeded at a brisk pace to cover all agenda items within the allotted time. The project is progressing at a steady pace, with each milestone reached according to schedule. He slowed his pace to enjoy the scenic beauty of the countryside during his walk. Perambulate as verb. To traverse or move about in a systematic or deliberate manner, often with the purpose of inspecting or surveying an area. To walk or travel through a place or area, typically for leisure, exercise, or exploration. To stroll or wander around. The tour guide led the group as they perambulated through the ancient ruins of the city. They decided to perambulate around the park to enjoy the autumn foliage. The couple enjoyed perambulating through the historic district, admiring the architecture. The detective perambulated through the crime scene, carefully examining every clue. Residents often perambulate along the waterfront promenade in the evenings. Parade as verb. To display or show off something or someone in an ostentatious or proud manner. To exhibit with pride or ostentation. To walk or march in a procession, typically as part of a public celebration, demonstration, or ceremonial event. The champion boxer paraded his title belt around the ring, basking in the glory of his victory. The marching band paraded through the stadium, playing festive tunes for the crowd. The soldiers paraded through the streets during the Independence Day celebration. The protesters paraded outside the government building, demanding social justice reforms. The beauty pageant contestants paraded on stage in their evening gowns, hoping to impress the judges. Pace as verb. To set the speed or rate of something. To control or regulate the tempo or progress of a process, activity, or event. To walk or move at a consistent speed, especially as part of a regular or measured activity. To proceed or advance at a steady rate or tempo. The conductor paced the orchestra's performance to convey the emotion of the music. The teacher paced the lesson carefully to ensure that all students understood the material. She paced back and forth in the waiting room, anxious for news about her loved one's surgery. The hiker paced himself to conserve energy for the long trek ahead. The project manager paced the team's workflow to meet the tight deadline. Promenade is noun. A leisurely walk or stroll, typically taken in a public place for pleasure or exercise. A paved public walkway or area, especially one along the waterfront or in a park, designed for walking or strolling. Families enjoy picnics and games on the grassy promenade by the river. The town's historic district features charming shops and cafes along its main promenade. Couples often take romantic evening promenades along the illuminated streets of the city. The hotel's rooftop garden provides a peaceful promenade for guests to enjoy panoramic views of the city skyline. The seaside promenade offers stunning views of the ocean and coastline. Saunter as verb. To stroll or amble along casually. To walk at a leisurely pace, often without a definite destination. The couple sauntered down the cobblestone streets of the old town, hand in hand. They sauntered through the park, enjoying the warm sunshine and fresh air. The cat sauntered into the room, tail held high, as if it owned the place. After dinner, they decided to saunter along the beach, watching the sunset. Instead of rushing, she preferred to saunter through the farmer's market, taking in the sights and smells. Wanderas verb. To deviate from a course, path, or pattern. To stray or drift. To move or travel aimlessly from place to place. To roam or meander. They decided to wander through the forest, exploring its hidden trails and clearings. In his old age, his mind would sometimes wander, lost in memories of years gone by. As the conversation continued, their discussion would often wander into unrelated topics. The lost hiker began to wander deeper into the woods, hoping to find his way back. Her thoughts would often wander during class, distracted by daydreams and fantasies. Trot is noun. Of a horse, a gait faster than a walk but slower than a canter, characterized by a two-beat rhythm. A pace faster than a walk but slower than a run, typically with quick steps. The jogger settled into a steady trot along the forest trail. The dog broke into a playful trot when it spotted its favorite toy. The carriage driver urged the horses into a trot as they pulled the coach through the city streets. The horse broke into a brisk trot as it approached the finish line. We covered the distance to the store at a quick trot. Stride is verb. To move forward or progress in a purposeful or confident manner. To walk with long, decisive steps, covering a considerable distance with each step. The soldiers strode bravely into battle, their banners waving high. The sew strode into the boardroom, exuding authority and determination. She strode purposefully through the bustling city streets, unfazed by the crowds. He strode across the stage to accept his award, his head held high. The athlete strode confidently onto the track, ready for the race. Lope as verb. To move with long, bounding strides, especially in an easy, flowing manner. To travel or progress with a steady, rhythmic motion. The deer lope through the woodland, disappearing into the dense underbrush. The runner lope along the track, maintaining a steady pace throughout the race. The horse lope effortlessly across the meadow, its mane flowing in the wind. The wolf lope through the snow-covered forest, its paw prints leaving a trail behind. She loped gracefully across the dance floor, moving to the rhythm of the music. Roam as verb. To move about freely or without a fixed destination. To wander or travel aimlessly. The cat liked to roam around the neighborhood at night. The child was warned not to roam too far from the playground. The tourist roamed the city streets, taking in the sights. The cows were allowed to roam freely in the pasture. The hiker roamed through the woods for hours. Ambulate as verb. To travel from one place to another, typically on foot. To walk or move about, especially for therapeutic purposes. The injured hiker was able to ambulate with the help of crutches. The physical therapist helped the stroke patient learn to ambulate again. After the surgery, he needed assistance to ambulate safely until he regained strength. The patient was encouraged to ambulate around the hospital floor to aid in their recovery. The elderly residents of the nursing home enjoyed ambulating in the garden during nice weather. Mobilize as verb. To bring together or gather, people, forces, etc., for a common purpose or action. To prepare or organize, troops, resources, etc., for active service or use. Volunteers worked tirelessly to mobilize support for the victims of the natural disaster. The government decided to mobilize the army in response to the threat of invasion. In times of crisis, communities often come together to mobilize resources and support those in need. The organization aims to mobilize public opinion on environmental issues through education and advocacy. Social media platforms were used to mobilize protesters for the demonstration. Meander as verb. To follow a winding or twisting course. To move in a leisurely, aimless, or unpredictable way. His speech was long and meandering, making it hard for anyone to follow his point. The river meanders through the valley, creating beautiful curves and bends. She meandered through the park, enjoying the scenery and the fresh air. The path meanders through the woods, providing a peaceful and scenic walk. The conversation meandered from topic to topic, never staying on one subject for very long. Step is noun, a movement made by lifting one foot and putting it down in a different position, typically as part of walking or running. A particular action, measure, or procedure taken to achieve a goal or result. Each step in the process requires careful attention to detail and precision. They dance together, matching their steps to the rhythm of the music. She took a cautious step forward, testing the stability of the icy surface. The first step toward success is setting clear and achievable goals. He climbed the steps of the staircase, one at a time, to reach the top floor. Stroll as verb. To walk leisurely, especially for pleasure or to enjoy one's surroundings. To wander or roam casually without a specific destination or purpose. She often strolled through the neighborhood, greeting neighbors and enjoying the scenery. They strolled hand in hand along the beach, enjoying the sunset. After dinner, they strolled through the park, admiring the blooming flowers. They strolled arm in arm through the quaint village, taking in the charming sights. The couple strolled along the riverbank, lost in conversation and the beauty of nature. Meander is noun, a path that follows a winding course, especially a river. A winding or twisting movement. The river's meander through the valley created a picturesque landscape. The tour guide led us on a meander through the old city, pointing out historical landmarks along the way. The bike trail offered a leisurely meander through the countryside, allowing riders to take in the scenery at a relaxed pace. The artist's painting depicted a meander of colors and shapes, evoking a sense of movement and energy. The author's writing style was characterized by a meander of ideas and thoughts, making it difficult to follow the main point. Trot as verb. Of a horse, to run at a gait faster than a walk but slower than a canter, characterized by a two-beat rhythm. To move at a pace faster than a walk but slower than a run, typically with quick steps. He trotted up the stairs to deliver the message to his boss. She trotted down the street to catch the bus before it left. The dog trotted alongside its owner during the morning jog. The children trotted happily through the park, laughing and playing. The horse trotted gracefully around the ring during the equestrian competition. Promenade as verb. To parade or display oneself in a proud or confident manner. To strut or show off. To walk or stroll along a public walkway or area, typically for pleasure or exercise. He promenaded confidently into the room, exuding charm and charisma. The fashion models promenade down the runway, showcasing the latest designs. Residents of the coastal town often promenade along the boardwalk in the evenings. Visitors to the art gallery promenade leisurely from one exhibit to another. Couples promenade hand in hand through the park, enjoying the scenery. Stride is noun, a long, decisive step while walking or running. Progress or improvement in a particular direction or area. She took strides to improve her health by exercising regularly and eating well. The company has made significant strides in reducing its carbon footprint. With each stride, the marathon runner drew closer to the finish line. He walked with a confident stride, his pace quick and purposeful. The team has made great strides in advancing the technology, pushing the boundaries of innovation. Level up your English. Master vocabulary, idioms, and phrasal verbs with fun quizzes. Translate meanings into 104 languages. Download now. Link in the description. Please like and subscribe to our channel.